कविता वही जो हमने कही।
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं संजीव शर्मा डिजायर न्यूज से आज फिर आपके साथ। काफी समय हो गया, तो कई दफा कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, कुछ कमिटमेंट होती हैं, थोड़ा सा बिजी हो जाते हैं। अदरवाइज तो कभी ऐसा नहीं होता कि आप लोग से मिलना मेरे लिए बड़े सौभाग्य की बात होती है। और आज हमारे साथ अभी मैं जिनको लाइन पे लूंगा, जियोकॉन्डा, एक ऐसा नाम जो बॉलीवुड से लेके हॉलीवुड तक सब जगह एक अपनी अलग ही छाप छोड़ती है। तो आइए दोस्तों, और उनका टाइम बड़ा कीमती है, तो हम कुछ बात करते हैं।
Hi.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you? How are you? Hi,
Okay.
nice to see you, and
Same
I'm really thankful to you. You have so much of busy schedule, but you have spent some time with Desire News, so I'm very happy to see you. And
Thank you.
because of the time, let us start because public wants to know how the journey of Gioconda start.
Yes,
I
yes.
I heard about your interview, and let us start with your when you were 12 years old. How a new life has changed.
Actually, all my journey in Bombay start in India, and in Bombay specifically started through a spiritual journey that I did in India because I'm a yogi and meditation person. So I was in Ganga River near Rishikesh, and I just came here in India for fun the first time. But then I understood the power of this beautiful music. I got fascinated by hearing here Indian music in India when I was traveling, because I'm, a very good traveler, so passionate of travel. So far, I traveled about 150 countries, almost the entire world. So I started, thinking to compose songs and also new music, taking inspirations from this huge culture that is Indian culture and Indian music. So then I did my first Punjabi song with Mika Singh, then some collaborations for concerts in fusion with Sukhwinder Singh, Anup Jalota, Hariharan, and many other things. So everything came pretty fluently, and I thought that actually maybe there was a karma or a destiny in my life that I should also do something good for India, because Indian has given me a lot in terms of spirituality, and beside my international career, I thought that I should have given back some good energies through my voice to Indian audience too. So that's how it started.
So nice of you about your journey in Gioconda. Everybody wants to know how your interest started from music. Music is also a very therapy. Music is therapy, and how you start this line.
Actually, my mother used to say that I was born not crying, but by singing. Because since my childhood, I always, my favorite game was taking a microphone and starting singing. And actually, music was my passion since childhood. And specifically me being a child prodigy, I really, liked since childhood not only singing but also playing instruments. In fact, I did the Academy of Music, which in Italy is called Conservatorio of Music, di Musica. And I used to play piano, violin. I studied harmony, compositions. And then, of course, when my voice, my child voice became more mature, then I also inspired myself to the opera courses, singing, and then everything went very fast, because then I started winning my singing competitions, and I was taken by the biggest agency of opera, the one which belongs to Luciano Pavarotti. So it opened me the doors of all the biggest opera theaters of the world, collaborations with Grammy Award winner Ennio Morricone, composer, which is like, your A.R. Rahman for Hollywood music. And then, yes, of course, I started thinking that I could have done, some fusion, because I was thinking that opera was just a niche. So all my inspirations and my curiosity for new music is always very, very alive. So I started doing this fusion between Bollywood and opera, which is called BollywoOPERA, and it's the first time ever combination of Bollywood, because I sing in Hindi, मैं हिंदी भी बोल सकती हूँ, with opera. And I got the Indian Women Awards, first time ever given to a foreigner, which makes me, so happy and so proud, because I'm very, very much connected to this beautiful country, which is India.
Very nice, Gioconda. Because this word is BollywoOPERA is definitely a booming word. I have heard first time from your mouth, because opera, everybody is about the music, everybody, but BollywoOPERA is really very nice.
Yes, it's something that actually, even in the name itself, there is a fusion, because the root of the word is Bollywood, and then I put opera, so BollywoOPERA, and I patented this name in Delhi, like a trademark, because it's really something unique that nobody else has ever done in the world. So it's giving me lots of response also, because I released all my songs with T-Series, which is the biggest label of India, and I sang in Hindi, and for me it was, such an amazing experience, because to learn a new language and to also being able to sing sounds which they are very different from my mother tongue language. It's been, a really good challenge for me, and I love challenges. So now I'm also learning, South Indian languages. I speak 7 languages, and every time, I think every one of us should have an inner child inside himself or herself, because that keeps always, the curiosity on, and keep you always alive, and always, in love with new things and new experiences. So that's how is my motto in music and in life in general. I can see lots of fans are popping up now.
Yes,
hello,
yes,
everyone.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us and listening about Gioconda Vessichelli. She's excellent Bollywood and Hollywood singer, and she sang so many songs, and she's so much interest in Indian Bollywood also. So let us talk about Mikka. Yeah, I think you have attended the Mikka devotee. So you explain about your Hindi version about Mr. Mikka Singh.
Wow, these weddings are huge, and there is, lots of preparations regarding, these weddings, which is not there in my country. So it's been something new and unique for me. And being Mika, my brothers, and we both of each other consider part of the same family, he thought to invite me, and I promised him to go to this Mika devotee program on Star Bharat, at least for the Sangeet, because I was busy in Australia for my concert. So I promised him to come, and I came, and it was very beautiful, to see so many girls, bringing him this silver plate and this, their wish to get married to him. And I'm so happy that finally settling down, and yes, found a beautiful, pretty girl. So, I always wish them both lots of love. And for me, myself, it's been fun, because all his relatives and me, we were dancing, and we were, doing also some Punjabi dances, which were pretty new for me. And it was itna maza, bahut maza. So I really loved it. And I wish both of them lots of beautiful things in life, because they really deserve the best.
Gioconda, one question I am asking you, because Mikka is your brother. So if Mikka selected some girl, so are you happy with your bhabhi? Because she is your bhabhi now. Are you
Yes,
happy
yes.
with that girl?
Lovely girl, definitely she's lovely, lovely girl. I'm knowing her like slowly, slowly because both we are very busy. So we just talked in very few occasions. But I feel that yeah, she's really a beautiful girl, both inside and outside. So actually, initially I was. Supporting the youngest girl, Prantika, because you know she was very sweet, and I felt her to be so authentic. But then once I met the one that Mikapaji chose, I thought that actually maybe he has done a very good choice because she's really a good human being and maybe is the best choice for him. So I can see there are some people asking me. You are Akhilesh Shrivastava. You are a versatile singer. Yes, yes.
Oh,
I was
Akhilesh, thank you very much for joining us. And I am really very sorry because of the time constraint. Gioconda is very busy, so I am
like,
not able to reply anybody. So I am
Yes,
really thankful to
Srivastava
everybody.
is asking, you have given your voice for movies also. Yes, Akhilesh, I was singing first of all in Prague movie and then in Maricom and some other movies in Hollywood and Bollywood too. Yes, but Maricom has given me, you know, that kind of visibility because being, you know, a Priyanka Chopra movie, it's been very successful and the music also by Vishal Shekhar, of course, has given me lots of beautiful inspiration while singing.
Giovanna, one question I am another asking you. How many awards till date you have get in your most versatile music industry?
Yes,
How many awards do you get till date?
seven international opera awards, being the first one, the first opera singer, the best from above all the opera singers of the world. So yeah, so far it's seven, which is my lucky number also, and it's a good achievement because you know I was always number one among all the singers from South Korea, from Russia, from Belgium, from France, from USA. I always place myself in number one. So yeah, it's always been for me a beautiful experience because I love, you know, challenges, and I always prepared myself a lot. I studied a lot because, you know, it's not some genre of music that you can just improvise. So yeah, it's gone well. I must say that has gained me also, you know.
Excellent. Seven awards is definitely a big achievement. Seven awards is really a big achievement. One
Yeah.
more thing, Gio, I'm asking you. You are a water girl, if I'm not wrong. What about your swimming habit and anything? Which more best habit you have?
Habit, my
Yeah.
hobbies, you mean? Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yes.
like swimming, I like swimming, I like diving. I like to be in contact with everything which is nature because I'm a wild spirit. So, you know, for me, being in direct contact with nature, with kind of people who are without filter, like my inner nature, makes me very happy and very, you know, at ease. So all the time, I try to cut some few days or few weeks of let's say relax, but it's actually still working because in those days when I'm in the desert or in strange places like in remote islands where I can go alone and be very VIP places, it's also a good opportunity for me for composing new songs. Like now I've just composed 6 beautiful songs just by being in direct contact with the desert, with no filters, no clothes, nothing, just, you know, enjoying the sun, enjoying the contact with the beautiful, you know, algae and the corals and the fish, and swimming for hours in the sea and nothing else, and switching off the phone. Actually, there was no need because in most of the places I've been, there was simply no network, so there was not you know, the risk of you know, interrupting this beautiful atmosphere of peace and in contact with nature. And contact with nature, of course, means to be in contact with myself also. So I always do at least once in a year, every year, this kind of experiences, which make me very, very happy. Beside music, this is my second passion that I have.
So you mean to say that you love nature because adventurism is your most perfect thing which you are doing, because if somebody is spending some time with the nature, it's excellent. If you love the nature, definitely nature will definitely love you. And one thing, yeah, one question, Gioconda, everybody asking about the religion. If I am Hindu, if I believe in Hindu,
Yes.
what do you think? Because you have spending so much time of India, what is your opinion about the?
Maybe
Yeah.
Hindu, because I did 3 times the deep in Ganga River for Kumbh Mela, and I saw the light. I'm very close to Gampati God and to Durga Mataji. Imagine that मेरे पंदी मेरे पिता की तुम पहले जन्म में तुम हिंदुस्तानी लड़की थी, क्योंकि it was playing a CD with Sanskrit music, this mantra, and as of sudden I started singing along, and believe me, I've never heard these mantras, this Sanskrit before, like Dhura Mara Mara Shrini Vishwaminorini Jaya Sute Jaya Jaya He. But now I've learned later on, but that time I've never heard, and I was starting singing along, and like a miracle. You told me not even Indian people, they can actually sing in Sanskrit, and instead I was singing. So it's like I feel very connected, and beside all, I was vegetarian, pure vegetarian since my childhood. I remember my mother chasing me with a fork full of meat. Please, you eat meat. Are you Indian that you're vegetarian? And all this. I was eating the full mirchi like Indian people. And in Italy, we normally have only namak and tel. We don't use spicy. We don't use mirchi. So, lots of habits that are like Indian people. I used to have also during my childhood in Italy, and then when I landed in India, I found myself completely comfortable because I found my dimension, and I found this beautiful religious, the mantras. I visited so many temples all over India because I feel something inside me as rebirthed, that kind of spirituality which actually I didn't find in Christianity, because I was born Christian, of course, because I come from Rome, which is the city of the Pope. But then now I actually found my religious dimensions in Hinduism. But I like all the religions actually, because every religion is beautiful. And the beauty of Hinduism is just this kind of ecumenism, means this kind of accepting all the kind of believing, doesn't do proselytism. And I even was in Madhya Pradesh in a temple where there were, the photo of the Holy Mary, of Jesus Christ, of yogis, of prophets all together. So, that's what I appreciate a lot in Hinduism religion.
The Desire News and our entire Indian, whoever watching our channel, they also appreciate, because you believe in every religion. You believe in every religion. This is definitely a very good thing about a artist. What do you think about Bollywood and your Hollywood? What is the difference between both the industries? Because you worked in Hollywood also, you worked in Bollywood. Have you faced any kind of problem in Hollywood or Bollywood?
No, I can't say actually problems. It's just, I think, maybe a different mentality, which is related, of course, to the different cultures. Like, for example, India somehow is more conservative in the skin exposure, and in Hollywood, of course, there is not such kind of, being very conservative regarding the skin. It's more seen like a natural thing. So as a consequence, when you prohibit too much one thing, like if you prohibit me from eating chocolate, the more you make this prohibition to me, the more I want chocolate. And that's how it's happening according to me in Indian culture, because the more you want to hide, the more, men, but also women, somehow they want that thing. Instead, when you give to me too much chocolate. I'm kind of, you know, fed up of the chocolate. I don't even want to have that chocolate. And that's what instead happens in Hollywood, because we don't even care if we see a girl in bikini or some photo shoot which is a little bit more exposing the skin. Instead, yeah, here there is in India always, you know, the kind of risk to be misunderstood, because I come from a different culture where things are very normal, and here instead you have maybe make them understanding that it's normal for us. But now I think that with Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media platform, also things are changing a lot in India, and it's a good thing according to me, because if you see in the past Khajuraho temple and all these beautiful holy places actually are displaying much more than what Hollywood movies themselves are showcasing. So, you know, it's just a matter of maybe the conservatorism of Victorian people. When you were under English rules, maybe must have kind of brainwashed also the culture, and it takes time, you know, to get rid of those preconcepts. I think so. But the beauty of Bollywood is that all the productions are huge. This music, which is always put inside every script of the movies, like the interruption of the script of the stories, and this beautiful dance with lots of huge dancers, numbers, and music, lights, which is not there in Hollywood. That's, you know, it make me so enthusiastic and passionate about Bollywood movies. That's why since childhood I was one of the few in Italy to watch Bollywood movies, because I was getting kind of hypnotized seriously from the, you know, this grandeur of Bollywood movies.
Excellent. Your experience is definitely very vast. And do you have one more thing? How you start your day? Because now every artist is facing about this stress management. How you start your day?
I don't know the meaning of this word actually, because I just do yoga. I'm happy. I love myself a lot, and I never get stressed about anything. Maybe because I don't give a hell to nothing or nobody. So that's the best secret, simply. So of course I get very busy, but I always enjoy what I do, because the secret is to do the right choices. When you are passionate about the choices you have done, even if sometimes I sleep for only 3 hours because my rhythm are very hectic, but still I like what I'm doing, so I just enjoy, and I never get stressed. I always feel it's like, you know, a beautiful game, and I'm inside that game, and I need to continue and getting, you know, to know what is the next, what is the next episode. So that's how my life is conceived. Always I do things with lots of fun. If or the choices matters a lot. The choice phase. If I feel it's not fun or it's not good for my nature, because I know myself, my nature, then I simply cut it off from my life, because life is just one, and it's beautiful, and we don't have to pollute ourselves with the, you know, the people we don't like, or the vibrations we don't like, or the work or activities that we don't like. That's mainly the secret. So I rather prefer to renounce to some bad choices. Like in the movies, I got lots of scripts from lots of directors, but me being myself a director with 2 degrees from University of Performing Arts of Italy, I have quite a knowledge of how a beautiful movie and successful movie should be. So I'm very selective. If I don't like, you know, deeply the role or the script, I just say, you know, I would rather prefer to have some spare time for myself and enjoying the world, traveling, rather than getting involved in a project I don't believe in. And but now finally, you know, I found a very, I can't unveil the name, very amazing big director with an awesome cast. So in October you will see me also on Indian screen, because the role is really, really deserving, and I'm sure, I hope I can give a beautiful redemption of this kind of role.
In my life, Gioconda, I will definitely give you some award because you are the first actor, you are the first singer in my life who is saying कि I have no stress, because most of the people are facing this type of problem of stress, but you are the only one.
Yes, I stay away from these kind of people. I was also the only one to be a child prodigy. So I kept, because, I was like 7 years old singing with 40, 50 years old opera singers. So I was always kind of particular, strange person, let's say. Maybe I'm strange, but I'm proud to be strange, because, rather than going with people just with the flow, which is a negative flow, I prefer to be maybe alone or belonging to that 3% of people with a kind of enlightened mind, rather than get into this loop of stress, of these things. They're always, crying for something, unsatisfaction, this and there. It's like, uh, it doesn't belong to me, to my nature, luckily. But I mean, I hope that they will also find their own paths, their own way, their own solution, because actually there is not a recipe which is good for everyone. Every person has its own stories, its own path, its own, different things. So we just have to look a lot in ourselves. I do lots of meditation, of course, and lots of yoga. That helps a lot. And the secret is to love myself or yourself, and that's it. Then everything will come fluently, because you will be in the positive vibration zone, and all the things, you don't have to struggle much to get there.
Definitely, you have one excellent thing in you, because your face is so smiling face. One more question people are asking about your reading habit. I heard that you have at least 500 books you have read. What about this reading habit?
Reading, yes, I read a lot, because I think that, also not only body needs lots of to be taken care, lots of time, like gym and all, but also reading, it's like a gym for our brain. And if we have an empty brain and with lots of muscles, we can't go very far, actually. So I always, and I enjoy reading since my childhood. I remember I come from a family where my parents were very cultured people, so always, even for Christmas, they gifted to me and to my sister books, along with dolls and other games, because this reading habit should have always been there. And luckily, I'm thankful, especially to my mother, because I've read so much, and I also like to read the authors in their own language. Like, for example, my mother language was Italian, but I used to read Shakespeare in English itself, in order not to miss, those double meanings, which you can just get once you read the authors in its own languages. Or lots of French writers also I read in the French language, Spanish, of course. So it enlarges your vision of the world. It gives you ideas, and unlikely the television or whatever you see on the screen, where you have to stay under the rhythm and the speed of the authors of the program. So you don't have time for your own reflection. When you are reading, you are taking your own time, you're elaborating your ideas. So you are like the king of what you are reading, what you are doing, and the creative process will develop much better and much deeper than when you just watch television in a passive position. When you are reading, you are in an active position. So I always prefer that.
But your time is most important, because you have to rush to the airport, and I have no other words to say. Thank you very much. You have spent so much of time. तो दोस्तों, आज मैं आपका थैंक्स करूँगा कि आपने इतना अच्छा टाइम हमें दिया, और जियोकोंडा वेस्टेली एक बहुत ही अच्छी सिंगर हैं, पॉली ओपेरा हैं, और उन्होंने जितना अच्छा बॉलीवुड के साथ साथ हॉलीवुड में भी बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। तो आज वो हमारे साथ थी, उनको एयरपोर्ट भी जाना है और वो अभी अभी उनको निकलना था क्योंकि उनके पास हाफ एन आवर ही था, फिर उनको बाहर एक कंट्री में जाना है। तो इसलिए मैं उनका शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा। बीच में कुछ नेटवर्क इशू भी आ गया था, तो कुछ बातें हमारी और हैं जो अभी बाकी रह गई, वो भी हम धीरे धीरे पूरी करेंगे। और जितने लोग, अखिलेश जी और जो लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, मैं उनका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। डिजायर न्यूज़ उनका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता है। और दोस्तों एक चीज़ मैं और कहना चाहूँगा कि आज जब इस मौके पे हम आए हुए हैं, हम अपना 75वां वो बना रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता दिवस। तो उस स्वतंत्रता दिवस के ऊपर आप अपने घर के ऊपर जरूर झंडा लगाएं। आपको जहां मौका मिले हमें अपने झंडे को एक तरीके से पूरे विश्व में एक इतिहास बनाना है। आपको जब भी मौका मिले, जहां भी मिले, 13 से 15 तारीख तक आप झंडा लगाएं। उसकी मर्यादाओं को जरूर पालन करें। देखिए वो हमारे देश के लिए एक इतना बड़ा चिन्ह है, उसको सिर्फ एक कपड़ा नहीं कह सकते हम, वो एक हमारे लिए, हमारे देश के लिए एक प्रतीक है। तो मैं आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि आप अपने घर पर 13 और 15 तारीख को जरूर झंडे को फहराएं। डिजायर न्यूज़ आपके साथ है। आपको लगता है कि आपने कोई अच्छा काम किया है इस ड्यूरेशन के अंदर, अगस्त के अंदर आपने कोई काम किया है, देश के लिए कोई काम किया है, किसी को प्रोत्साहित किया है, तो आप हमें हमारे कमेंट्स बॉक्स में जाके ज़रूर कांटेक्ट करें। हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आपके अच्छे अच्छे कामों को पूरे देश के कोने कोने तक लेके जाएं। तो हमें अपना तिरंगा फहराना है, हमें पूरे विश्व को बता देना है कि भारत के तिरंगे का कोई जवाब नहीं है। ये तिरंगा पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर एक मिसाल बन के कायम होगा। तो मैं सिर्फ इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा कि आप लोग ज़रूर तिरंगे को फहराएं और आज़ादी के इस जश्न में पूरे देश को, एक बाकी सब चीज़ों को भूल के हमें पूरे देश की तरफ को अपना ध्यान देना है और तिरंगे को हर घर में फहराना है। किसी के पास अगर नहीं भी है, आप उसकी मदद करिए, उसको आप तिरंगा लेके दीजिए। तिरंगे की कोई ऐसी वो नहीं है, लेकिन अगर कोई गरीब आदमी है तो आप उसको तिरंगा भी लेके दें। बस तिरंगे का अनादर ना हो, वो ज़मीन में ना पड़ा रहे, उसके ऊपर कोई पैर रख के ना जाए। वो एक सभ्य समाज का हमारा खुद का फर्ज है। अगर आप भी देखें तो कोई बुराई नहीं है, आप उसको उठा के अपने दिल से लगाएं, वो हमारे देश की धरोहर है। तो मैं इतना ही कहूँगा दोस्तों, आपने अपना कीमती समय दिया, आप मेरे से जुड़े, डिजायर न्यूज़ से जुड़े, तो हम इस तिरंगे को वर्ल्ड के अंदर एक ऐसा रिकॉर्ड बनाएंगे कि इसके बाद इस रिकॉर्ड को तोड़ने वाला विश्व में कोई भी देश ना है ना होगा। धन्यवाद दोस्तों।
डिजायर न्यूज़, वास्तविकता वही जो हमने कही।